From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Thank you for joining us this morning. It's Wednesday, January 10th.
Let's get started.
He's like a big teddy bear, right? So he's always smiling. I have not ever seen him get mad, even though in a really difficult situation. He's always very supportive. He's very nice.
He was a friend, husband, son, and a protector of our community. Today, a remembrance of a fallen Oakland police officer.
That is a cost that we just cannot afford to pay.
We've seen recall after recall in California, including here in the Bay. But could another one be a waste of time? Critics are making the argument in Oakland.
This resolution signals to all that our elected officials see us, they hear us, they want to protect us.
See our leaders, our elected officials, calm things down, bring the temperature down.
It's a hot button issue splitting the community. But now San Francisco supervisors are taking a stand over the Israel-Hamas war.
You're literally going to stop it before it happens.
Being stuck in traffic is a problem that can ruin your day. But can artificial intelligence actually solve the problem and other challenges on the roads? Turning to the technology might be in our future.
Well, good morning. I'm Gianna Franco, and that is something we could use this morning as I'm monitoring a really big crash right now on 80. And, having that to maybe alert drivers in advance could save people time.
But you did say earlier, you brought up the point of distracted driving, and I'm Nicole Zalumis. Could it cause more of a distraction?
Because you're looking at technology.
Your phone's going off or something's going off and you're not focusing on the road.
That's really the conversation we're having about AI and technology as it relates to transportation, your privacy, et cetera. So we'll continue having that conversation. Good morning, everybody. I'm Reed Cowan. Another community conversation is coming because our Bay Area is mourning the loss of an officer. So as the sun comes up, Jessica, what kind of weather will we see during that procession to the funeral services starting later this morning?
This morning, heading into this afternoon, we do have some scattered showers in the forecast for us. For the most part, it's just a cloudy and cool day for us throughout the Bay Area, and we are definitely off to a cool start. Taking a look at current temperatures throughout the Bay Area, we're in the 30s down into the Santa Clara Valley. These clouds are a lot higher down there compared to at the Bay Bridge, which you can actually see right behind me too. This is from our rooftop cam. Cool, cloudy, and wet. That's the forecast for us today, and definitely breezy too. Oh gosh, we can see wind speeds anywhere up to around 30, even 40 miles per hour along our coastline today. I'll dive more into that in just a second. We're currently sitting in the 40s right now near San Francisco. We've been seeing a little bit of rain in the forecast so far, moving in from offshore, but this is light drizzle in the grand scheme of things. Look at what's happening as we zoom in a little bit closer to home. Light broken apart showers. That's what's moving down to the south as we head into the next couple hours. That's been falling off into the East Bay. It's been falling along the peninsula, and this continues into this afternoon, this exact same trend. Right now, San Leandro getting hit with just some light rain there. We'll continue to watch these showers move to the south all throughout the afternoon hours today, lingering into the overnight hours tonight. That's when we start to actually clear up as we gear up for dry conditions for our Thursday forecast. Taking a step back, though, windy conditions are expected for us today, anywhere up to around 40-mile-per-hour winds up near Bodega Bay. All throughout San Francisco and along the peninsula, we can see gusty conditions too, and that makes its way off into the East Bay as well. More on that in a bit, and these king tides coming up in just a bit. But for now, over to you, G.
All right, Jessica, thank you. Let's talk about the freeways right now. I do want to talk about this traffic alert that is still in effect and causing some pretty significant delays westbound 80 as you commute into San Pablo this morning. So if you're just getting up and get ready to make that ride, maybe from Highway 4, El Sobrante into Richmond, you're going to see a lot of brake lights. And unfortunately, traffic continues beyond that point because it's getting busy for that ride. This is one of our busier spots this morning. It's right at San Pablo Avenue as you exit there, San Pablo Road. If you're taking San Pablo Avenue as an alternate, good choice. However, a lot of people might be doing the same thing now as we get into that 7 o'clock hour. So just be mindful of seeing maybe a few more brake lights on that alternate 280. BART might work as well to maybe avoid some of those brake lights. But your travel time, pretty reflective of what we're seeing. 36 minutes now from Highway 4 to the Maze. Adding to that, I am getting reports of a crash on the upper deck of the Bay Bridge. It looks like it's not blocking lanes, but causing just a minor backup for some spectators slowing right around Yerba Buena, right around Treasure Island as you head westbound into the city.
Gianna, looking live this morning across the bay to the city of Oakland, your community station with the people of Oakland and all who are hurting over the killing of a police officer out protecting and serving our neighborhoods. This morning, a moment of history in the Bay as Oakland's officer Twan Lay will be memorialized in Castro Valley. Officer Lay shot and killed December 29th while working an undercover burglary operation near Jack London Square. Our news team is carefully following the requests of the Lay family and Oakland police in how we cover this story. Sean Chitton is live this morning where services pay tribute to a man who, Sean, was really representative of his own community and was a bridge builder where he lived.
Well, Reed, we've had the chance over the past week and a half to hear from those who knew him when he was younger, those who knew him when he was serving as an officer, and they say exactly that. That was so important to him in his service as an officer. And so for more than a week now, this community has been mourning him, and today will really serve as one final chance to say goodbye to Officer Tuan Lay. Now, this is happening, like I said, just more than a week after he was killed while working. He was working undercover as an officer for Oakland Police, where he was at a business that was responding to a burglary there. And that's when he was shot and later killed. Now, we've had the chance to hear from those in his community who have shared so much about him, saying that he was a beloved husband, someone who always had a big smile and was known for his kindness and the positive change he brought to others around him. He was born in Vietnam and moved to Oakland in 2001. He later graduated from the police academy in 2020. Officer Lay was a member of a youth program that was based in Oakland's Chinatown, and it was called the Asian Youth Services Committee. He volunteered at various events and gained leadership and social skills to prepare for college. And in Chinatown, where he worked so much of his time as an officer, as a regular member of that community, that is one place where he touched so many there with his service.
For many of us, we want to pay respect, not only to him, but also want to say thank you to the entire police force, men and women in uniforms. They are risking their lives, protecting our families, our businesses, and also our properties.
And so here now is video of a procession on Monday. We are waiting for another procession to begin today in just a little bit here. That will start in Oakland and then end at Three Crosses Church. That's where we are here in Castro Valley. We understand that there will be a ceremony that follows once the procession arrives that includes inspection, formation, and presentation of arms. And then the actual memorial service will start around 10 a.m. where we expect to hear from state leaders as well as members of the Oakland Police Department and family members of Officer Lay. Reed, back to you.
Sean, thank you so much and good morning to you. Part of healing this loss has meant the officers hurt by the killing of one of their own, they still had to get up and do their jobs. They've made 4 arrests, some connected to the shooting, some connected to the burglary that was the reason Officer Lay was at the scene in the first place. 3 caught and cuffed in Alameda County. From left to right, Alan Starr Brown charged with murder and other felonies in Lay's death. Mark Sanders right there in the middle. He is the one police and prosecutors say fired the fatal bullets. And Sabron Russell charged in the burglary of a marijuana dispensary. Our news team has also learned of the 4th arrest in Southern California that is connected to the robbery part of this tragedy. And we know Officer Lay helped to represent a voice in his community that was a bridge between his community and police. So important. And to that end, to honor his mission in life, we're making his services available to anyone who wants to watch online. Officer Lay's services start at 10 a.m. live on KPIX.com. Nicole?
Now to our top headlines of the day. San Francisco is now the largest city in the country to formally call for a ceasefire in Gaza. This comes as other Bay Area communities have been debating to take the same action.
The resolution is adopted as amended. Next item.
SF supervisors voted 8-3 in favor of an amended resolution that condemns both Hamas and the Israeli government. However, the 3 supervisors who voted no said it didn't go far enough in denouncing Hamas. The Jewish Community Relations Council released a statement thanking the board for the revisions. They say members of the board listened to their pain and frustrations following the October 7th attacks carried out by Hamas. Over at our state capitol, Governor Gavin Newsom is expected to announce his proposed budget today. Right now, the state faces a $68 billion deficit. The huge hole in the budget has some people concerned of potential spending cuts. Governor Newsom also calling for new laws aimed at preventing retail theft. The new legislation would expand criminal penalties and prison time for those who resell stolen items. Now, his proposal also states there should be new penalties for car thefts and possession of goods stolen from vehicles. Newsom says these new laws make a safer California and give more tools to police and prosecutors to hold criminals accountable. Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun said the company is, quote, acknowledging our mistake following the mid-flight blowout of an Alaska Airlines door plug last Friday. Calhoun became emotional as he discussed the incident at a company staff meeting yesterday. He thanked the pilots and crew of the Alaska Airlines flight. Now, the FAA has temporarily grounded all Boeing 737 MAX 9 planes pending inspections. Calhoun says his company will cooperate with the federal investigation.